So who are the 161 Canadian piggies at the trough this year, according to this provisional delegate list? Well, I showed you the first name of the Canadians on the list, the hapless Stéphane Dion. He got thrashed in the 2008 election in Canada, just destroyed, for running on an anti-global warming platform. You remember it was called the Green Shift, but he's got the last laugh, hasn't he? He's our overpaid special envoy to Europe. Then there's Catherine McKenna, the Environment Minister, and as I showed you earlier, the next four names on the delegates list are extremely well-paid people who really all have different varieties of the same job title. Ambassador for Climate Change, Negotiator for Climate Change, Senior Policy Analyst for Climate Change, Head of Climate Action, Senior Policy Analyst for Negotiations. Of course, when you see the word senior in the title, that implies there's also a junior person like that too. Folks, there is no factory in Canada making Teslas, by the way. There aren't thousands of people making solar panels in Canada for a living. When politicians talk about green jobs, these are the jobs they mean. Bureaucrats and lawyers and lobbyists and mooches. The only green here is the money they get paid. These are the green jobs. But here's a key point. Every global warming loser in the country, well, they get on board from the provinces, from cities. Anyone who wants a free trip to Bonn, or maybe take your free trip to Bonn, and then while you're there, you just hop on a quick train and you go exploring in the rest of Europe instead. I mean, it's not very far to take a train to Paris, just a few hours. I mean, would anyone really notice if the deputy, assistant, policy negotiator, advisor, global warming deputy went missing for a couple of days? How would anyone even know? I'm not going to go through every one of the 161 names, but here's just one. Claude Odette Robitaille, who is a Quebec government bureaucrat. For every federal government bureaucrat on the global warming file, you can expect each province has the same provincial version, and so do probably the territories. So just picking this woman as an example, multiply by 13 for each of the provinces and territories. Here's another one. David Brent Bleakney. The Postal Workers Union has someone on the delegation. Why? Well, why not? It's a party. Here's Kayleigh Frampton. I'm just picking a name at random. Kayleigh Frampton. She's described as a ministerial assistant, Office of the Minister, British Columbia Ministry of Environment and Climate Change Strategy. They all have these very long titles, don't they? Their business cards must be huge. So who is Kayleigh? What kind of an assistant? Huge job title, but it actually says very little, doesn't it? Well, here's her LinkedIn page. She took photography in college, and then women's studies, of course. And then she says this, I'm quoting from her resume, as part of the digital team during the BC election campaign, I worked as a content producer, writing and editing content for digital platforms. Oh, so she was a propaganda photographer for the campaign. Why, yes, she was. And she's apparently quite good at it. Look at this. She has her own company. So the BC New Democrats, instead of hiring some Paris fashion photographer for $6,000 like Climate Barbie did, they just brought their own campaign photographer with them, jetting in all the way from BC. But you'd have to spend some time digging to see what this ministerial assistant really did. She was just a photographer. She's not there to save the world. She's there to do propaganda, which is what all of them are there to do. That's an excerpt from my daily TV show, The Ezra Levant Show. Normally it's behind a paywall, but I thought you'd like this video, so we put it on YouTube. If you want to subscribe to watch the daily show every day, including always 2 interviews a day, and I read my hate mail, just click on this screen and become a premium member.